Alright, what's going on, guys? So today we're going to do a quick review video of one of my favorite knives, the Herman Knives Sting. If you guys have seen Metal Complex, I'm sure you guys have heard of Herman Knives before because he's a big Herman Knives fan. But these things are still kind of underrated and one of the most underrated knife brands, in my opinion, for the price. They have stuff anywhere from $600 all the way up to $2,500 full Damascus stuff, and Damascus steel and everything. This one's a super plain one. This is basically as plain as you can get, other than this is an aftermarket clip and backspacer in black Damascus that I had made by my buddy Johnny T on Instagram. He makes a bunch of Damascus stuff for all different kinds of knives, but I had him custom make this and this. Otherwise, this knife is completely stock. Factory, this is tie as well as this is just plain tie. Although you can get different options for backspacers, as I'll talk later in the video. Yeah, so base price on this, I believe, is $620-ish, maybe $600. Regardless, after shipping from Poland and everything, you're going to be spending around $700 for one of these. Used on secondary, I think I picked this up for $500, which was like a ridiculous deal. Expect to pay mid-5s, but for the money, it's hard to beat this knife. Just the quality and everything about it, it's just fantastic. So yeah, first pro, I thought I cut myself there for a second. So first pro is definitely going to be price. Just the fact that this knife is, we'll call it $700, just because I know some of them you can get carbon fiber backspacers and stuff. We'll call this $700. In that price range, really the main competition is going to be Shiro, and their prices have went up, from the last time I've looked, which has been probably a year or so. But Shiro is really going to be your main competitor, and their quality is the same, but I don't know, man. Just this thing is better ergos to me. Don't get me wrong, I think the Shiro has a better action, but this thing has better ergos and carries a lot better for me. And just, to me, it's my preferred knife. I mean, I've had both, and this is the one I kept, if that tells you anything. So it's hard to beat it for the price. You're also looking, if you're looking secondary market, figure fancy Sabenzas are in the 600s, 500s, so you're looking that kind of area. So that's the first pro. Second pro is, I like this steel, this M398. To be honest with you, I don't know how much better it is than M390. I've always just joked that it's 8 better. To me, it performs the same as M390. I've never had to sharpen it. I've never had to sharpen it. I think I've stropped it maybe one time, and I've carried this thing a fair amount. It's been in my collection for, I don't know, 6 months or so, and so I've carried it a fair amount. But the steel's really good. I've never had to worry about corrosion. I really like the blade finish. As you can see, it's kind of dirty from fingerprints and stuff, but the blade finish is really nice. It doesn't really show scratches. It's hard to see. It's kind of like a tumbled or blasted finish. So that finish is really good. And actually, I really like the finish that's on this. You can see, I mean, you might be able to see somewhere in there, but overall, yeah, maybe around the edges. It's hard to tell. But overall, the finish doesn't really show scratches or use. So it's a good finish. Trying to think, the other big, actually no, that's most of the pros really. I guess the other big pro for me is just like, even though this is a tall knife, it doesn't feel huge in pocket. So like I wish I brought a para 3 with me, but a para 3 feels big in pocket, but it doesn't feel big in hand, whereas this feels pretty decently sized in hand, but doesn't feel huge in your pocket. I mean, it's not super thick. The flipper tab is a little annoying, but otherwise, like, it doesn't feel huge in pocket. The only cons I have with this knife are the pocket clip. Now, remember, this pocket clip's identical to a stock one pretty much, so it performs the same. So this applies to this one and the stock one. But the stock pocket clip, because it's so thin, it has to have a lot of retention. This is just a theory. Because it's so thin, it has to have a lot of retention to stay in your pocket, whereas wider ones maybe don't have to have as much retention because it's more surface area on your pocket. It can kind of drag out of the pocket sometimes depending on the pants you're wearing. For me, it's only when I'm wearing certain shorts that it's a problem. Most of the time it's fine, but every once in a while it'll kind of, when you pull it out of the pocket, it'll be kind of a pain. But going in the pocket's easy. The other con would probably be this flipper tab. If you're not a flipper guy, this one's a little bit I don't know, it protrudes a fair amount in the pocket compared to others, but that's not really a problem to me. Final con, it's not really a con, I just don't like it. This has it has a specific pivot that he gives you a tool for, don't get me wrong. I just wish it was Torx. You know, this stuff's Torx and everything else is, but I wish it wasn't a specialized pivot. So that's probably the 3 cons. Really, yeah, I mean, there's nothing else. I love this knife. I've carried it a ton. The only thing I would change is maybe I wish it was a frame lock. You guys know how I am about frame locks over liners, but this actually works as far as being a frame lock. I don't usually, or liner lock, I mean, I don't usually like titanium liner locks, but this one, for whatever reason, it works. I mean, it's not the smoothest thing in the world, but the action is incredible, and I'm sure you guys can't hear because it sounds like World War VII out in the distance. So I don't know how well you can hear me, or how well you can hear this, but it has just a ring to it. It's got just a very metallic ring, which from all the knives I've handled, Herman's pretty much one of the only ones that has that just metallic ring to it. So yeah, that's just a quick overview / review of this thing. These I feel like will eventually become more popular as more people learn about them. You know, Metal Complex has done a good job about telling the world about these things because he loves his, and he's got a super custom one, I believe. I don't know if he still has it, but and his might be a Dragonfly. That's another thing I want to mention. If you don't like this size, he has a similar setup in like maybe 3 or 4 other models. It could be more, honestly. He's got a bunch of different models. You know, they're longer this way or that way, and a bunch of different ones. So it's good if you're not sure which one you want to, you know, which one would work for you the best, just give a few of them a shot. They're all roughly around the same price. I actually saw a Dragonfly the other day for under 500 bucks. I think it was like $430 or something, which for this quality is, you know, insane price wise. I mean, that's fantastic. So yeah, if you guys are looking for something new and you're bored of all the main guys, you know, Shiro, whatever else, give yourself a chance to try out a Herman, because these things are fantastic. And it's one of the keepers that'll stay in my collection. You know, once I got this Timascus stuff put on here. Oh, fantastic. And if you are a fancy boy, like I said before, maybe I said in the beginning of the video, he does stuff that's like crazy materials. A lot of his actually come with carbon fiber backspacers. And he's doing a lot with carbon fiber inlays. So it'll have like this milling, but it'll have a carbon fiber inlay that kind of follows the handle here. That stuff looks insane. That's maybe the only way I would ever consider getting rid of this one, is potentially to get one with a carbon fiber inlay. But honestly, I kind of like the full tie. It works. But the carbon fiber inlays, I heard, are like perfectly machined flat in, like you can't even tell the difference. So I don't know, maybe I'll get one of those and it'll carry me over. But yeah, so there's so much not customization, but so many different possibilities of ones you can get. So a lot of variety. Just a fantastic knife overall. This is definitely one of my favorites. Definitely going to be a keeper. So all right guys, I'll see you in the next one. Later.